Well, hello, and blessings to everyone. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are in the Ladies, Lipsticks, and Life Lessons room here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. On the Tammy R. Nobles page, listen, this is the space where we come together to have conversations like Naomi and Ruth, right? This space is centered all around Naomi and Ruth, women helping other women. That's what we're doing tonight. And what other way, what better way than to do that through different platforms celebrating International Women's Day. And so on these other platforms, I have some of my friends joining me. Hey, Stephanie, and I have some friends here on Clubhouse. I also have friends on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And so if you all want to join us on any of those platforms, feel free. That way you can see us in the place to be. And if not, that's okay. Continue to relax and enjoy the conversation. If at any point you have any comments or anything, feel free to share. So listen, we're going to go ahead and get started. Stephanie, welcome on in, my dear. And if you all wouldn't mind to just ping a few people into the room, that will be amazing. So tonight we're going to literally just start walking through the Proverbs 31 woman. And there's so many things to unpack here. We're not here to really just unpack the full thing, but to just talk about a few things and at the same time celebrate the valuable woman, celebrate the power of being a woman, celebrate the power of just showing up and being uniquely who we are in spite of everything else. And so we oftentimes hear a lot of things about the Proverbs 31 woman, right? And you can read that in Proverbs 31, of course, starting at right at about verse 10, I believe. But for tonight's conversation, I kind of want us to work around that, and you can read the full version about the Proverbs 31 woman at your leisure. And so I really want us to dig into this conversation about how we show up in our true authenticity, being valuable women. And so here it is, verse 30 of Psalms 31 says, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands and let her own works praise her in the gates. Listen, that to me speaks volumes. And I kind of want to start our conversation tonight right there, because it's about you doing the work of yourself. It's about you having your own space and owning that space in your true authenticity and allowing yourself to be who you are. So before we go any further, let me just pause and say, I'm Tammy R. Nobles. I'm your life strategist. I'm here to help you unpack your blocks, right? Unlock your barriers and your blocks so that you can walk that purpose thing, right? Tap into that purpose seed that's inside of you and build that thing that God has already called and ordained you to do. And so, with that said, I would like for my amazing women on the panel tonight to take a moment to introduce themselves. And so, we'll start with you, Miss Shannon. So, go ahead and introduce yourself to us and tell us what it is that you do.
All right. Hopefully, I am not echoing. I tried to mute everything. Okay. Praise God. And I'm grateful for being here. Thank you for inviting me on this International Women's Day. Um, I will say that I am an entrepreneur. I'm a mom. I'm a preacher. I'm a pastor. I'm a lot of things that God has blessed me to be. I own a business called Quintilla's Kitchen. It's named after my grandmother, and my motto is healthier soul. So I'm not like a person pushing all kinds of like health food diets and stuff like that. My motto is just make healthier choices. It doesn't have to go to the extreme for you, for it to benefit you. I also own a business called New Again Furniture Restoration. And so the goal there is to find authentic pieces of furniture that people would enjoy, something unique that you're not going to find at Ashley Furniture, and something that you can bring to your home and just enjoy for a lifetime. I also work for a tech company, so I believe in making sure that we educate our young girls in STEAM. Um, so that's science and technology and engineering, computer sciences. Make sure that they understand and know this is our future. And so that's me, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you, woman of God. I certainly do appreciate you being here with us. You doing all of the things, and we're gonna come back to that because you really, really tapped into my you made my antennas, my spidey sensors go up when you talk about healthy. Just eating healthy is so important. So we're gonna come back to that because even that is mentioned here in Proverbs 31, my friends. So listen, we're going to head on over to my sister, Rachel Harris. Miss Rachel Harris, introduce yourself to the people and tell us who you are and what is it that you do.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel Zan Harris. I am a mom. I am a mother. Like Miss Shana said, I'm a wife, and also I am a licensed insurance agent. And I also own another business, which is the hair business, Unique Beauty Supply, which will help to beautify women, especially women that have cancer, women that have lost value of themselves, that don't think that they have to take care of themselves. We remind them of the beauty of themselves. So uh, we that's what I do. And also uh, I also like loved I also have a dance group where we use Afro beats to help people to lose weight. If you want to lose weight and you don't want to go to the gym, there, it's easy to dance and lose your weight. So that's what we do to partner with my partner is not here today, but I'm grateful to be here, Minister Tammy. Thank you for having me here.
You are so welcome.
Hey, sis, you got to unmute on StreamYard.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna come back to that. Thank you. That's why it takes a team, right? We're going to come back to that because I have actually been to some of your Afro Beats classes, and they have been nothing short of amazing. So thank you for being here with us as well. And we're going to come back and have our sister Blessings introduce herself in just a few minutes. But for now, let us just go ahead and get started. Hmm. I'm sorry, someone was telling me that they're having some technical difficulties. I just want to make sure that you can hear me over here on YouTube, and you can also hear me. Hey, let me give a few shout outs, y'all. Just give me a minute. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Vaughn. Hey, Bristol. Hey, KT Moss. I appreciate you all joining in tonight and being a part. Okay, yep, good on Facebook. Are we good over here? Can you all tap your mics if you can hear me over here on Clubhouse? Nobody tapping. All right. So, all right. So let us go ahead and thank you, Lakia. Let us go ahead and continue the conversations. Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. All right. So let us go ahead and continue the conversation. I do apologize about some technical difficulties, but we're going to press through. So listen, let us go ahead and get started. So, as we talk about the Proverbs 31 woman, Shannon, you mentioned about healthy eating. Let's just pause right there because when we look at Proverbs 31, it talks about that she takes care of her health. 31 and 14. I just kind of want to read that one real quick. It says, she is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. Listen, listen, this woman in Proverbs 31 that we oftentimes reference when we as single women are talking about preparing for our husband, being a virtuous woman, doing all of these amazing things. One of the things that we have to do when we are married, when we're not married, and even after marriage, right? Because people who have been married before may not want to do it again. Some of us may not, but some of us may. Regardless of wherever you are, at the end of the day, taking care of our temple is so important. And what you shared with me, what you said earlier with to us was that your healthy eating, your lifestyle has to be intact. Can you share with us? Can you talk about that a little bit? When you talk about, I know that there's been this big movement about being healthy at any weight. I know that there have been some people who's taken sides to that. Some amazing people who have been in the limelight, who are just saying, "Listen, this is who I am. This is who I am in the raw. I love me and I love my body too." But at the end of the day, being snatched is amazing. But if you're not healthy, it doesn't matter. Can you talk to us and dig in a little bit about what you mean when you say being healthy and healthy eating is so important? Can you talk about that, and also how you show up in that space?
Absolutely. So, like many of us, I'm a baby of the 70s. So I grew up with a grandma who was cooking with fatback and pork and all of that, all of the stuff that we know tends to lead to preventable diseases. And so when I became an adult, I thought, I love all that stuff. I love the flavor of it, the beans with the little piece of fat in it and the greens with all the pork in it, but it's not good for me. And if I want to have a different outcome than what I saw with my grandparents, meaning some of them may have lived a long time, but what was the quality of their life? Could they get around? Could they chase after grandkids? Could they, exercise if they wanted to and get out and about? And so that's the thing that I wanted to just have for myself. And when I started Quintilla's Kitchen, it really was based around the fact that I wanted people to be able to have longevity and a good quality of life. So if I throw some greens on, I want those greens to be healthy. I don't want them to be, and I know sometimes you still, you know what, look, I heard somebody say a couple of weeks ago they were vegan plus bacon. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's a thing, that's probably my category because I really don't want to give up bacon. I really enjoy bacon. But let me just say this, that's why I call it healthier soul, because my thought process is I'm not trying to take away the things that you love. I'm just trying to give you an alternative to say, you know what, this can taste really good and it can be healthy. And that's what I try to offer to people. Now, in the context of this scripture, look, this woman was a person who said, I want to be able to feed my family with the flavors of the world. That's why they said she was like a merchant ship, because she was able to go out into the market and trade the things that she was producing for the things that the marketplace had to offer. And then she could take that back home to her family and prepare it. And so that's what made her wise. That's what made her valuable. That's what made her different. A lot of people were just making bread. They was just making porridge. But then you went to this woman's house and she got, couscous, and, she got a little bit of stuff from the Mediterranean. She got some olives and whatnot. She had different variety that her family could enjoy, and it was healthy and nourishing. And so that's why she is a prized woman. And I think that all of us, whether we cook or not, or no, we can be in a space of providing or even accepting for ourselves just a healthier lifestyle.
I like the way you really say that, because a healthier lifestyle just kind of makes it sound like you take it out off some of the pressure of all of this stuff that I need to do, and all of these checklists of things that just kind of make it seem like it's so much to do. But having a healthier lifestyle, and listening to you explain it in that matter, makes it seem like it's doable. Can you just share with me one thing that if somebody said, just cook me something that's your favorite thing in a healthier way, that's a southern meal, what would that be? I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
So my favorite thing to make, and it is absolutely southern, is cornbread, hoppin' john, which is black eyed peas, um, yams, and greens. And basically, what I do is I remove all of the fat from those recipes. So for the yams, you're going to find in them a vegan butter, a plant based butter. But you still get the cinnamon, you still get the nutmeg. And so that's healthier. And the sugar, because you got to have sugar. So that makes it nice and authentic. For the greens, I'm going to give you all of the flavors that you're used to, in terms of, like, I'm going to throw a little bit of vinegar in there because that's going to hit the back of your mouth. I'm going to put some cayenne pepper in there because, we like to spice it up a bit. And a lot of us will add pepper in spite of the fact that it's already spicy. Um, and I'm just going to put a number of seasonings and spices in there so that you're not really missing that smoked meat, which is what we really want that smoked meat for, is for the flavor. And a lot of times with greens, what I have found over the years is that we overcook them. So when you get greens from me, they not overcooked. I'm not going to boil them until they have no color. They're going to be cooked, and they're still going to have a bite to them, because that means that they still have nutrients in them. So, and that's the point, right? Food should nourish us as well as smell good and taste good. And then I just love me some black eyed peas. Like, just give me some black eyed peas. And I'm going to fill those black eyed peas with a variety of peppers and onions and garlic. And so, because you have all of that in there, and that's flavorful in and of itself. And my trick, if anybody else wants to do this, is, and I learned this from watching Indian cooking, they actually cook their seasonings. So they'll start the pot by cooking the seasonings. So you're throwing in the curry, you're throwing in the smoked paprika, the pepper, whatever it is that you're throwing in, and you are cooking that first. Then I throw in the vegetables and I cook those so that those flavors bloom. And then I put in the beans on top of that. And so that allows all of those flavors to merge into the beans. And it seems like you've been cooking them for hours and hours because they have such a depth of flavor. But yeah, that's it. That's my favorite what do you call it? Entree of food to have. But yeah.
Why, thank you. Now you done made me curious. But listen, I love that, and that sounds so amazing. And I've actually tried some of that. We're gonna have to work on getting that a meal over here to me. So anyway, let's continue on our conversation. Y'all, let me just reset the room. As we say over here on Clubhouse, you are in a space, we call this space the Legacy Room on Clubhouse. And also, this is our Ladies, Lipsticks, and Life Lessons, where we come together, my friends, and it's just women learning from each other, women supporting each other, just as as they did with Ruth and Naomi. Naomi, each one teach one, learning to love, learning to grow, learning things that we haven't been taught before, and even taking our God, our Father, as the headship and as the lead. So thank you for joining us in this space. We're here on Clubhouse. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. And I appreciate you all joining in tonight because it's International Women's Day. And so I'm here just having a conversation with some of my friends. And I just wanted to invite you to share in space and time with us as we walk through some of the parts of the Proverbs 31 woman, celebrating a woman. Hear us roar. We are amazing and doing some amazing things. So listen, I want to give my sister Blessings an opportunity to introduce herself. Hey lady, thank you so much for coming on in. If you want to come off mute, just here on the platform, and they'll be able to hear you on Clubhouse. And just introduce yourself to us and let us know who you are and what it is that you do.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? I'm so sorry. I've been having technical difficulties, but I think I'm back. I'm back on. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you for inviting me to this, amazing platform this evening, and being International Women's Day. That's really amazing because I'm one of them. So thank you so much for having me. So my name is Blessing. I've been in the financial industries for a little over 3 years, and I'm a mom. I have 3 kids, and I'm a woman of God. So I live by my faith, and basically that's me. My journey is just been helping people, and I'm so blessed and so thankful to be among those women that can actually, proudly say yes, I'm living my dream, and I will continue to do that for the rest of my life. So hopefully God gives me the Abraham years of 121. Just kidding, but thank you so much for having me, Miss Sammy, and it's amazing to meet all these powerful ladies in here. So nice to meet you. Thank you.
Well, you can't tell us that you are an international woman and not tell us from where you're from. Now, that's not fair. Now, this is International Women's Day. We're celebrating. Hun, where are you from?
Yes, I am Nigerian. I'm from Nigeria by birth. So, yes, I'm African.
Awesome. Well, thank you. The accent was never a dead giveaway, but I just thought I had to say it. And it's not just you that's also a international woman that's celebrating with us today. I forgot to ask my sister Rachel, where are you from, darling? Would you give us a shout out of from where you're from, please?
I am from African too. I'm from Nigeria, the same place with Blessing. So we are blessed to be here. So yeah.
Awesome. And while you still have the mic, sis, tell us what it is that you find so interesting about the Proverbs 31 woman. Because I heard you mention that you are a mom, right? And I just happen to know that you are a mom of teenagers.
Yeah, it's not easy to have a teenager in your house, but to God be the glory for that. But that's why we call women, right? That's why we're referred to Proverb 31. One thing that stood out for me, it's not just about your family. This woman was not just about a family, but it was also was out there helping other people. In 20, Proverbs 20, the verse 20 said, she stretches out her hands to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. So we're not just taking care of our home as mom. We're not just taking care of our home as wives. And when you read the whole thing, you see that there's a verse that talk about how even when there's family, this lady know how to flip things over. Like Shana was saying, Pastor Shana was saying, she know how to flip things over. There's no family in her home because she knows how to dig out of nothing, bring something out of nothing. To be a teenage mom, it's not easy. But when you look at life and you connect yourself with God, and you have villagers that can help you maneuver the whole situation and help you bring back your strength, because it's not by might, it's not by my power, but by the grace of the Almighty God. Just like this woman was doing anything that she could in our place to make sure our families were okay. That's how we do as a mom of teenager. That's what helped me in a daily basis to keep on going. When I look at Christ and see how Christ have mercy upon me, sometimes you want to like knock your child out, but you have to like go back and like, man, God have mercy on me when I do anything wrong. God have mercy on me. So I have to continually show mercy and love. Not just that, this woman he loved unconditionally. If you read deep into it, she loved unconditionally. And so that's how we have to love our kids unconditionally. We have to love our spouses unconditionally. Like again, if you look at down to 21, she is not afraid. I'm not afraid of the things that will come our way, because why? I know Christ. I know my kids are going to act up. I know some days are going to be bad in my house, but I'm not afraid because I have God to lean on. So that's what helps us to continue to love and care for our kids.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I know that teenage life as well. But here's the amazing thing about it. You said your faith is where you find strength. And so that is a word, and that'll preach right there. It'll preach right there. And so thank you so much for sharing. Blessings. You mentioned that you have been in the financial industry for a little over 3 years. One thing that it mentions about the Proverbs 31 woman is about her stewardship, huh? About how she stewards well. What how would you connect what you do and the importance of you showing up? Because at the end of the day, this celebratory day is about our presence. It's about the fact that we make a difference. It's about the fact that we are faithful, we are loving, we are caring, but not only that we give that out, but we give it out of the overflow, right? We don't give that out of what we need, because we got to take care of ourselves. That's why Shannon is talking about having a healthier lifestyle, right? We got to learn that as women, it's okay and it's necessary and almost mandatory for you to take care of you, because taking care of you means that you have more of you to take care of everyone else. And being about your business, as far as taking care of your family, as Sister Rachel talked about, taking care of you and your body and your mind, and eating healthier, as Sister Shannon talked about, we got to manage our money too. We got to manage our money. So tell me what it is that you do and how it relates to the Proverbs 31 woman, and as it is connected to and relevant to stewardship.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. First I want to talk about my mom, because this is my mom. This is who she is. I can remember growing up as, in a household where, it's not enough to go by, but she was that virtuous woman that would go out and make sure that there is absolutely something for her kids, no matter what. Even though it wasn't enough for us, she still has to help as many people as she can. So she had her income or whatever she strives for that day, going out to find food for her kids. She wants to make sure that the kids around her are fed, not just her kids. So that is my Proverb 31. And up till now, you can imagine she is almost 60 years old, but she still takes care of everybody. It's like every single day she's calling, have you eaten? We have to I just came back from this orphanage. I just came back from this women without, widows. I'm trying to clothe them. That's my Proverb 31. And that has led me to become who I am today. So being in the financial industry is not just about, helping people understand finances, is about empowering women to know that even, as a woman in a household, married or single, you still have to be part of the finances in the household. We have grown up not in my culture. We grew up to, understand how men is the power in the house. So all you have to do is, take care of the kids and take care of the kitchen and take care of the house. But my mom was different. She was part of the finances. She was part of the organization. She was part of the household. So it wasn't just a man's house, it's both, right? And that has taught me that, yes, as a woman, we are empowered. We are multitaskers. We do a lot. We wear different hats, take care of the house, the kids, everything, the finances, the husband, everything. We do all of that. And that bleeds into our finances too. Being financially free doesn't necessarily mean your husband has to do, take care of the finances. You have to be among the decision makers in the household too. Because trust me, being a decision maker in the household as a woman, trust me, that decision goes the right way. Don't get me wrong, it is amazing when the men do it, but as a woman, because of the hearts that we have, that God has given to us, our thinking faculty is different. The way we think, the way we process everything is different. And that brings it to our finances. If we're able to sit down with the man of the house, right, and make the decision together when it comes to financial planning, when it comes to kids, when it comes to how to, making sure that the house is in order, we need the women to do that. And that's why, for me, my Proverb 31, when it comes to finances, is as a woman, we have to be part of the decision makers in the household. So, pertaining to what I do as being in the financial industry, I want to empower women to, take their finances seriously. Take your household finances very, very importantly, because being a woman, because of those hats that we actually wear, right? Our kids look up to us. And what they see from us, that's what they do. Which means, in as much as we're taking care of our household, we're empowering our children and showing them the way to the future. And the way to the future starts from finances too. If we don't understand how finances work, it's going to be difficult to direct your kids to do the same thing in the future if we don't do it. So empowering ourselves to understand that in as much as every other thing in the household is good, finances has to come first. So taking care of your kids, taking care of your family, learning how to plan, knowing how to plan in the right buckets that actually grows your money for you, that's what I do. And I love to talk to women about that too.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I love how you just said making sure that you put it in the right buckets to make your money grow for you. And I know that that's something that we can definitely use more of. I don't know if anybody else can use more money, but I know I definitely can. So you can too. I definitely know that that's something that I'm looking forward to. Listen, ladies, I want to thank you all so much for joining me here on these platforms. I want to go around the room. And first of all, let me invite everybody on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. If you want to join us for further conversation, we're getting ready to head on over to Clubhouse and finish out this conversation. We have about another 10 minutes, and we're going to spend that time on Clubhouse after we end this segment. But I want to go around the room when we talk about the Proverbs 31 woman, right? Proverbs 31 woman. What, not even just the Proverbs 31 woman, but what lasting advice or words would you like to share with the women who will come back and watch the replay, and all of the other women who are on the platform sharing space and time with us now? Like, what message, if there was one message that you wanted to leave with another woman and pour into her life, what would that be? And we don't have to go in any certain order. I just would like for you all to share, if you don't mind.
Well, I want to shout out to, because we don't talk about this set of women a lot, but I want to shout out to single mothers that do it alone, because I can't imagine myself just without my husband doing everything. A lot of them are overlooked. And I just want to shout out to every woman that is here tonight and doing it alone. You being the hero in your house, you being the father of your kids, you being the mother of your kids, and you're also working two jobs at a time. I don't know how you guys do it, but I tell you, Shana, I envy you. You have your business, not just one business, not two businesses, but you have three, and you have your child that's about to start getting into business too. I think we overlook you guys, those single women, and Minister Tammy, you too. Like, I just want to salute you guys, okay? Like, because people don't know how much it costs for you guys to take your kid from point A to point B. And a lot of people, though, we forgot to say thank you to you guys. We have it easy. Of course, we're doing hard work too. But when I see a single mom who's running it every day, going to church early, still serve the church, still serve the community, still serve their children, come back home with two jobs, come back home, cook, go to school, teach at conference. I salute you guys. And I just want to say, keep on doing what you're doing. And all the women that are here, you guys are an hero too. Every one of us, those, especially those of you who have businesses and those of you who have kids at home and still have to take care of your husband too. It's not easy, but I'm saying that keep up the faith. And when you run out of your strength, remember, God is your strength. Not your husband, not your mom, not your friends. God is your strength. And always remember this woman, Proverbs 31. Go back to it, read it, digest it, and feed yourself with the strength of this woman. That's what I want to say.
And amen. Feel like we need the offering plate again. All right, Shannon or Bishop, what
She's
would
the
you
one
all?
who always says she's not a preacher. It was so funny when you started saying, "Oh, I just want to give a shout out to the single moms." I was like, "Yeah, we need to shout out to single moms." And you were like, "Miss Shannon," I was like, "Oh, I'm a single mom." You know what? God has always been there, so I've just never considered myself to be doing this thing alone. Like, I'm like, God is there, and He's giving me direction and guidance. I was sharing with somebody today. We remember when we had the financial classes at our church, and I dragged my daughter early Saturday mornings. Like, you come sit here and you learn how to do these finances. You learn how to understand interest rates and credit scores and how to balance a checkbook. And, you sit here and you learn this because we got to break some generational curses and invest in some generational blessings. And this is the line, honey. So you're going to sit here and learn this. And I'm not really very strict on a lot of things, but that was one of the things I'm like, yes, we're not going to go another generation like we have been going. Prior to me, like, my grandparents didn't own anything. My parents didn't own anything. And I'm like, no, God, we are instituting generational blessings. And so thank God I own my own home. My daughter is got a letter that she can go look for her own home. She taking her time, but as a 19-year-old, y'all, like she can go look for her own home. She's in line to get a promotion to be making $22 an hour as a 19-year-old. Like, come on, y'all. This I'm just like, God, you're amazing. You're good. But let me circle back to what I'm supposed to be talking about. Okay. Um, so the last thing I would say in sewing this up is I will refer back to the scripture that says, "He that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains the favor of the Lord." And I always like to tell women, if you're a wife, you're a wife. You're not a wife because you got married. You're a wife because you're a wife. And so when you are found, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains the favor of God. You're adding to someone's life. You are coming alongside them as a helpmeet. And that should tell you a lot right there in that statement. If they ain't doing nothing, how can you help them? Um, so if you're coming alongside somebody as a helpmeet, then they already have something going on. And that should speak to you as a woman. What are your standards and what are your values so that you're not devaluing yourself? Don't get caught up in this narcissistic world. There are a lot of men who are narcissists and they will take advantage of you and then they'll have you thinking you ain't worth nothing. No, if they don't have anything going on, keep on going, keep on moving, trust and believe there's millions of men out here and there's one for you. So we got to stop being in this space and place. I was talking to a young lady on Sunday and she was like, well, I had dated this guy for 5 years and I found out that he was dating, going around with other girls. Look, if that's not your value system, hey, that's some people's value system. Some people don't mind sharing their man. But if that's not your value system, let them go. Let them go. And don't worry about it. And trust and believe. If they want you, they'll come crawling back. They'll come begging, sniffing around, trying to figure it out, and they will meet your standards. Amen.
And amen. And blessings. You getting all kind of claps. Blessings. What would you like to leave as your final thoughts before we transition to Clubhouse only?
Amazing. Yeah. So my final thoughts. This has been amazing. And one thing that I want to share is today is International Women's Day, but it's actually every single day. Every single day of our life should be, because we're women, we're strong, we hold everything together because God has given us the power to do that, right? So what I want to tell every single, not just women, every single lady out there, young, single, old, married, whatever you are, let your faith guide you in everything you do. As a mom in a marriage, your faith is one thing that's going to hold that household together. I remember getting married. My mom said, there is absolutely nothing that's going to hold your household together except you. Because if you make a mistake, I promise you, you break your household. So everything is in our hands. Let our faith guide us, and let's not forget about ourselves. In as much as we're taking care of everything else, we matter. Take care of yourself. If you take care of yourself, as Miss Shannon says about health, that's an important too. Because you want to live long, right? You want to be here to see your kids and grandkids, and so your health matters, your faith matters, your happiness matters too. If you're happy, everybody else is happy. So we got this. The world is changing. Women are becoming, no longer just stay-at-home moms. Even stay-at-home moms are business owners. We're striving out there. We're taking care of our families. So let's keep doing that. And don't forget that your faith is the one important thing that will guide you throughout this life. So thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. Listen, y'all, I just really appreciate this amazing panel of women. And if I had to give one my last and final thoughts with our live group of friends, I would say that it's not about being perfect, but about being purposed, right? Understanding that the value you have, it should be valued. So I want you to value your value. I say it all the time, but when you understand the story behind why I stand on value your value is because I didn't always understand I was valuable. And so here's the thing, my friends, my last and final parting words is to remember that God created you to be a masterpiece. He already put amazing things inside of you with seeds of potential. It's our role, our responsibility to tap into that, develop it, nurture it, understand that you are purposed with a purpose. Be diligent, forgive, repent, love, heal, and lock arms with other amazing women who won't allow you to settle for less. So I want to say happy International Women's Day. Happy Women's Day. Let's continue to love one another, continue to celebrate one another. And if you want to continue this conversation with us, my friends, there's some other amazing, mighty women warriors on our Clubhouse platform. And we're going to shift over there for about another 10 minutes, my friends. And I really, really thank you all so much for coming onto these platforms today. And I hope to see you real, real soon. This has been another episode of Ladies, Lipsticks, and Life Lessons, where there are mighty, amazing women doing great things. And we are really, really owning and honing into the story or the principles of Ruth and Naomi. Women helping women and women teaching women. You all be blessed until the next time. I'll see you real soon.